Hey everybody, it's me Sean, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play series. It's a little game called Mashinky. I think this is going to be a great game. It just is going to release on early access, next week? In 2 weeks? Anyway, it's going to release on, it's on, 2 weeks. It'll be in early access on Steam, but this game is in great shape. I really haven't run into many problems at all with it. I had one minor problem while playing. I played maybe 6 or 7 hours. So this game is great. It runs really well. It's really fun. Early access just means there's going to be a lot more features added to it. Hopefully some balancing. There's a few things that are a little unbalanced, but we'll see as we go along. So one of the first things that I think needs to be balanced is kind of the way the map is generated. We're going to get a pretty good map here because I've changed everything to low density, but it seems like when you have stuff on medium density, everything gets really crowded. So I play on low density, so it gives me plenty of room to play around and lots of room between our industries and towns and stuff. But instead of goofing around here, let's just jump right in and get started. So we're going to start a new game. Still early access, so sometimes it shows like undefined text. Sometimes it'll show little tool tips and stuff. So the way this game runs is it gives you little quests and stuff to help to help push you along. So our first quest is to transport some passengers. That's fine. We're also in the early steam age, or we're about to go into the early steam age. I can never remember which one. But in order to get there, we need to build up 100 timber and 100 coal. Things are a little abstracted in this game. It'll make a little more sense as we go along, but we will see it. So money is definitely abstracted. So let's take a look at our map here. We've got a lot going on. So first thing we're going to want to do is passengers. Obviously, we've got that passenger quest. But another thing that we're going to need to do is to transport wood and coal to these tool factories over time. Actually, wood will go to the lumber factory and then onto the tool factory. I really like the way that these are kind of lined up here. Looks like, well, there's a little bit of a hill, some hilliness that I'm going to have to deal with, but we can deal with that. And that's not really going to be that big a deal, but that'll be handy because these guys can share their tracks. So I kind of like this for a starting area. We've got some decent sized towns over here with enough room between them to where we can have plenty of room for the tracks to maneuver. This town, all these hills are going to be a real problem like with this town. But if we were connecting up these three towns, nice flat area in the middle, so you know what, I think that's what we're going to do to start with. Let's not necessarily lock into that quite yet. Got a couple of good-sized towns here, but they're so close together. Some decent towns. Whoa! What is up with that town? I've never seen something like that. That must be, a lot of hills pushed that in there. Well, like I said, early access with some stuff to work on. But you know what? Let's not. I could spend all day looking at the map trying to find different things. Let's go ahead and we're going to go with these three towns here. So first thing that we want to do is we want to go ahead and switch over to building mode, and we're going to lay down a station here. Now at first these stations have a somewhat limited catchment area, but that will grow over time. And over here, like that. And then this town up here. That seems like no matter where I put it, it's only going to capture like 3 buildings. So I kind of like that better for the starting one. I like that, very good. And then we're going to look at running a rail, and we'll just run that. Now, kind of want to. So this one will come up like that, and then this one will come over and meet that in the middle, so that's fine. Whoops, I want to connect it to the station though. There we go. And we're gonna run it up there. Great. Whoops. All All right. Now, people who are watching this like the day that it comes out, you may know that I actually had to re-record these because I had some problems with the original recording. Just want to say that is not like the fault of the game. That was the fault of the way that I had my recording stuff set up. So this game actually runs super smooth, and I've not had any problems with the graphics and stuff in playing, but with the recording I kind of had to have it set up in a kind of a particular way. So we are going to put actually let's put in our depot first. So I really like putting the depot in on these kind of Y junctions, because I mean, like it makes it easier to send trains back to the depot, and yeah. So that's why I did that there, and then we're going to set these passing lanes up right next to the junction. So there is a. Did I set that up? I think I got that set up correctly. Put these passing lanes next to the junction so the trains can get through the junction quickly without the signal slowing them down. This will all make more sense when we get a little further in, once we actually get trains running. So you'll understand more why I'm doing it this way. But we're going to set up our passing lanes like this, and then down here it's going to be a little tricky because we've got this thing going on. I can do it. Great. All right, perfect. And then we want to put signals in there. So we're going to have, now I guess on this one they're passengers, so they're going to be full going both directions, so it doesn't really matter how we have the signals set up. But when we have goods going, I like to have it set to where the straightaway is on the full load and the curve is on the empty load. Not that I think it really matters that much, but setting these signals are a little funky. You set once and it'll set it for both directions, and then you have to click on which side of the track you want for the direction to go in. So it can be a little confusing how to set these signals up right. But once you do it a few times, you kind of get the hang of it. It's not too bad. There we go. All right, so we've got passing lanes for all of these. I might need to set up another one down here closer to the stations, but let's actually get a train running and stop worrying about that. So we have two kinds of trains to choose from. Now you can see the income, or the economy, is abstract. So this train doesn't cost money to build. It actually costs lumber to build. We don't have any lumber, so that's irrelevant right now. But it still has an operating cost that comes from your cash tokens. And here we have this train that just costs straight up cash tokens. So, it's not like actual money; it's like tokens represented by cash. So it's it's a little hard to get used to at first, you know. But once you get used to it and stop thinking of it like, hey, this is how this game is supposed to be, it makes a lot more sense. So we're going to run this first train from Renfrewshire down to St. Helens. Let's go ahead and start that one up. And there we go. Here it comes. There's our first train leaving the depot, heading out. Now I should be able to, there you go. Let's set up our next one. We're going to do this one exactly the same as the last one, but we're going to set this one to go from St. Helens to whatever this town is, North Lancashire. We'll push start on that, and that one will come out of the station, or the depot, as well. I love the graphics on this game. I like the nice snow that comes down during the winter. All that stuff is really neat. So there's our train leaving there, and then we're going to set up a third train, which will go between the other two towns. So same thing, engine, 4 cars, orders to go from this one down to this one, and we're going to wait for this train to pass before I send this one out. so train 3 has been stopped at a signal for a long time. Oh, that's the train I just built. Hasn't actually been stopped for a long time. Gets a little excited about sending these things down. So you can see how when a path is open, the little lights turn green on your signals, and when a path is closed, like I've got a train in here, so no trains can pass this way, no trains can pass this way, or up this way. So the signals are something that you know, the tutorials didn't really get into the explanation of them, and I felt like maybe it could use a little more explanation. But once you get the hang of it, it's really not that bad. So you can definitely get some, like when you get down in close, oh my gosh, this game looks so amazing. I just love the way this game looks. It's so beautiful. And I don't even have like the settings all maxed out or anything. I tried to go at kind of a reasonable mid-level for the settings, but love it. So there we go. We've got some passengers delivered, made some income. It's going to pick up some passengers. Actually, I'm surprised at how many passengers this little town is generating. Another really cool thing you can do is you can follow along with the train. You can get just right in over the engine on this thing. Follow it along as it makes its way back to the town. You can't do it if you close the window. You can't close the train window to continue following it, but if you follow it with the train window open, it's not going to hurt us. There's our neighbor train right there. Slow down the signal. We have to slow down the signal because this guy's going through the middle. But there we go. Now, one thing that doesn't really matter in this game, the amount of money you earn for delivering passengers and stuff is static. So it doesn't matter whether it takes forever, it doesn't matter where they're going, it doesn't matter how far it is, any of that stuff. You're going to make the same amount of money for every passenger that you deliver, basically no matter what. So that's not the most advanced. It's not like an economic simulator, you know what I mean? You know, maybe kind of a downside, but it's fun, right? That's kind of the main thing for me. Something else you can do here with our stations is we can add extensions to them. So like a waiting room, this is going to expand the catchment area, which will allow me to gather up that extra house, which will allow me to get a few more passengers out of each station. So we're going to go ahead and add, because you can see, does it show the, I guess I can't really see the catchment area without, that's too bad. If I click on, no. But anyways, so I add this, it'll increase the number of passengers coming in there, should increase the amount of money that I make. And of course, here at this one, it'll really make a difference because we had a lot of stuff that wasn't getting included in here. I don't want it going that direction though. I want to put it there. If I put it here, it still catches up the whole town. I think I want to put it here. Anyway, so there we go. Got 3 increased width stations. Got all of our trains running along here, and it looks like we've completed our task for passengers. So we're going to go ahead and collect that reward, $100, and now we have the opportunity to deliver logs. This fellow, who looks an awful lot like the last guy we were just talking to, would like me to deliver logs to the sawmill. Well, as we talked about before I started, we've got this forest up here, and we've got the sawmill down here. Eventually we're going to take that to the tool place, but we want to get logs from there to there, so let's get started on that task. Now, the coal mine and the forest are right next to each other, so we would do well to try to catch both of them. Can we catch both of them? I don't know, does that? It does not seem to catch the... I don't know how to tell whether I have them both in there or not. Well, let's make sure we do, because I can always just put another station. I'm going to probably have to put another station in there anyways. All right, there we go. So we'll put that in there, and then we'll see whether, okay, so it does catch the coal. Good. And then we're gonna want this sawmill down here. Now we wanna remember, we're gonna be going to this tool work, so we're gonna wanna be able to pass through. And we're gonna want kind of have a main line running this way over to here. I guess if we had, well, let's do this. Let's put this station like right here. And then we'll run this out like this. And if we do that, we do that. There we go. So now we know where we need to have a straight line to go through there. And then we can, we're gonna need to have passing lanes and stuff. So I want to, yeah, let's do that. And then we'll be able to put a passing lane like right there. Very good. All right, and that'd be long enough if we go, we straighten it up here, like that, and then we can run that. All right, there we go. So there's a good passing lane right there, and then we'll just run this down the hill. And then we're going to want to have a curve right there. Now I think I'm going to want to put another passing lane here at the entryway to this. There we go, like that'll work. And then like that. Great. Okay, so that gets the station, gets me into the sawmill. So I don't really need to worry about completing out this track quite yet. Let's get the signal set up, and we'll just get a train running on this, and worry about the rest of it here in a minute. Cool. All right, where can I put a depot? I could level out the land here to put a depot right here, but I don't really want to do that. I could put a depot here. I always think that R is rotating. It's not. For some reason it's M. Maybe in Russian or whatever. That makes more sense. Nope, can't do it because those hills are so funky. Well, what I could do is this. Put the depot on this side. Because it's not like we're going to be going up. So yeah, let's try that. Very, dang it, every time. M for rotate, silly. All right, there we go, that'll work. So then we're gonna do an engine, one of those. We're gonna put, let's try putting 4 of those on there. Can we put a 5th one on? Let's try it, we'll find out. If not, we can always pull it back in the depot and take it off. Nope, not unload. Get rid of that. There we go. And then we deliver to there. Start it up. See how well it fits in our station. Hey, it fits just fine. No problem. If your train is too long for the station, it'll still load up, but the cars that are outside the station take a very long time. So you really want to try to get your train to be able to fit into the station. Cool, so there we go. Now we've got a lumber car delivering lumber to the lumber mill, or logs to the lumber mill, you know what I mean. I guess we want to find out. I wasn't really watching closely enough to see how much, so it carries 35. So let's keep an eye on how many logs we have here at this, when the train leaves the station, and then how many logs we have when it gets back, right? So it's gonna leave, there's 26 logs there. So if it has 61, If it has more than 61 when it gets back, we need another train. But if it has less than 61, it seems like this train is able to keep up with it. And I'm going to say that it's going to have less than 61 because it only has like 40 right now. So, cool. It should be able to keep up with it just fine. We won't have to add another train on there. Yeah, there we go. Great. All right. So, the stations will only hold so much, right? You can see here that it'll only hold 200. We can add an extension to increase the loading speed and capacity, increase the storage, all those things. And, you know, we might do that in the future. But right now we don't really, like, that's not really a great investment for us. So we're going to keep things the way they are. But we need to, we do need to start getting this lumber out. And where the lumber goes to is the tool works down here. So we need to figure out how we're going to get the lumber down to the tool works. We have this hill that we have to deal with, and I am going to want to split this track up. Can I do it like this? Will it on the hill? Ah, good. So it does let you build on hills, which is real nice. Sometimes that's real tricky in these games, but this will let you do it pretty easily. So if I run this like that, and then like that, and I can have you connect up like that. Very good, great. So there's a passing lane at the entryway to that station, and then we'll run down here, and then I'm going to put another station in at the toolworks right here. And so I'll put it on this side where it's going to be slightly closer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we run our track out like this. Put in a passing lane. Wait, nope. One more. Passing lane like that. And then just connect those two up like that. And there you go. Now we are connected to the toolworks. Put in some signals. No, let's try that. There you go. Like that. And then we have, although I want to have them go the other way because I want the full trains not going on that little side route. There we go. And we'll do that here and here. Dang it. There we go, great. And up here, I want the empty trains going this way, and the full trains going that way. And one thing I forgot to do is I want to put a signal there as well. So when a train's inside this station, other trains can use this crossing area there. Great. Okay, so now we have the capacity set up for multiple trains to run through here, and we've finished our log delivery, so we can collect the reward. But we are going to have to wait till the next episode to find out what happens when we start delivering all this nonsense around. So I'm going to throw another depot in here real quick before we end this one. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Like I said, this game is really fun. I have had a lot of fun with this, and I really am looking forward to our Let's Play series. So leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. I hope you've enjoyed it. Click the like button if you did. If this is your first time to my channel, I hope you'll consider subscribing. And check out some of the other videos I have. I make a lot of games, and I like to play games. And yeah. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.